the TERFs are on an endless PR victory campaign, it seems, at least from what I can see. And I thought we'd go through some of it because, well, the Americans, certainly grappling with this problem, need to pick up on what the UK TERFs are doing if they want to win that war of what is a woman, presumably. If we go to the link here, you can see the first thing to mention being that we have a premium video on the review of What is a Woman by Matt Walsh as well, from Carl and Harry there, which seems to have had a huge amount of cultural impact, and it seems that, right-wingers can still do an amazing job of having a huge dent in that intersectional worldview.
Yeah, this was a really good creative project, I think, this documentary.
Yeah, so go and check that out, and also it is great work that Matt Walsh has done. But back to Blighty for a minute, for what the TERFs have also been able to do in this regard. We'll start off with Posey Parker, who has been going around here. As you can see, she's celebrating that she's, dealing with the racial pride flag there by putting her stickers on it, just being like, no. I mean, what is that? Is that Waitrose or something? And then she's just like, to hell with you. And this is endemic, so good work for her there. Hope at least some of the employees see it and notice what the hell they're doing. But if we go to the next one here, we can see the fact that there was a demonstration, again, in Bristol this time round. Okay. She was going to go and say that women exist, and that proposition ruffled a few feathers. So Antifa turned up to, look like the tolerant and peaceful chaps that they always are. And I suppose let's play this first clip. Wonderful individuals. Yep. So local woman turns up to say that women exist, and that's the response she got from the locals there, because Bristol, people don't know, seems to be a leftist Antifa S-hole. You may remember it was a place where the riots took place. Yes, absolutely, where the Edward Colston statue was toppled as well. Yeah, and then they set fire to police cars in the evening because, movement of peace. And the man there screaming that you're going to die out like dinosaurs, which... I mean, there is the obvious rhetoric from the TERFs, which is that women are being erased. They're trying to replace authentic women with trans women. And then this individual turns up screaming that, yes, you women are going to die out and your time has come. The age of women is no more, which the interesting rhetoric, to say the least. There's also the point that the irony, trans have no children either, so... Oh, where does that future lie? However, moving to the next link here, we can see, of course, Andy No picking that up. But then there's more of this as well. And he says, Antifa members from the Anarchist Federation and other far-left extremists gathered to try and shut down a women's rights gathering. Again, the feminists were accused of being transphobic fascists and required police protection. But let's play this clip in which they continue to be perfectly nice. You have been literally just attacked. You're our kids. Yeah? Go home, get in the sea, die out. You're dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. Fossils. You're gonna die out. 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 You are ancient history. You are fossils. You are dinosaurs. You have failed. You have failed. Your ideas have failed. Get in the sea. Get in the sea like Colton. Go home. Get in the sea. Look after your kids. I must have missed that episode of Jurassic Park. I mean, I love something about those masks. It goes back into their mouths. It just makes me think they're puppets. Yeah, it doesn't look real. Does. It looks so strange. It's surreal to look at. But then the ending off there: go home and look after your kids. Okay, unlike you, I suppose. But then also, it's just like, women, you belong back at home. Yeah, interesting. Make me a sandwich while you're at it. From the left wingers there, of course, and screaming, "You are ancient history." At the women, the authentic women, saying that you're, no longer part of the new women. I mean, it's the Ricky Gervais joke, come true yet again. Which someone's like, not the old women, the ancient history women who used to, have vaginas and things. Whereas the new women, lovely, much better, of course, from this individual as they rip up their signs as well. And this is what I mean by the endless PR victories. What do the TERFs have to do? Nothing. Literally bugger all. We're going to go to Bristol. What we're going to do? Say that women exist. And what's going to happen? We're going to get a PR win. Why? Because Antifa will turn up and do this and just become the living memes that they are. Again, with the puppet thing. I mean, it's not just me, right?
Yeah.
They're going into their mouths.
I was thinking that earlier. It looks so strange. It's almost like a fake beard as well, the way it hangs down below his chin like that.
Yeah, and you got both of them there, and then the rest of them with the masks on, of course. Always the mask. No one else in Britain wears masks.
It's almost like that's a pair of Speedos he's wearing around his face rather than an actual mask.
Furiously breathing in and out. Not the best idea. But if we go to the next one here, there was more of this puppet as well, screaming that you're going to die because you're dinosaurs. But then this one here, I love how Andy worded this. Hashtag Antifa groups organize the Bristol direct action against Posey Parker there. Feminist rally on Twitter and Mastodon. They conspire to hide their identities and threaten to throw the women into the harbour. At least one militant had a visible Antifa tattoo circled next to the erection. Which, if you click on that fourth image there, we're going to... There you are. Presumably one of these chaps getting rather excited by his day out as he screams at women that they belong back in the kitchen and looking after the kiddos. Rightio. If you go back through the images, we can see some more of these individuals. You can see with their flags and... masks, a lot of them as well. It's just cringe. It's cringe, if nothing else. But there you are. That's the Antifa chaps who turned up and decided to give Posey Parker another win on a platter, which is... I mean, I had this argument with Carl ages ago, where we were debating about, well, who's going to win this? Essentially, feminist debate.
Right, yeah.
Is it going to be the trans activists or Posey Parker types? And I was pretty sure that, the Posey Parker types are definitely going to win. And frankly, I don't know how they could lose. I mean, I don't know what they'd have to do wrong for the public to think they're the bad guys in a situation like that. I mean, they're literally just standing there and the opposition has decided to make themselves laughable.
That's true.
I mean, it's the simplest thing in the world. There's also the obvious point that, only one side has the racial pride flag as well. They even have the most updated one, as you can see there, with its little circle, which I believe stands for intersex or something. Who knows? I mean, why not just add every other colour as well? I mean, everyone's seen the memes. Let's not go over it again. But have you seen the Ukrainian flag edition?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the one I was looking for. They haven't got that one on there yet.
No, but there was a meme made up by the right-wingers, and then I did see a couple of groups in America started using it unironically, thinking it was the new one.
Well, that's just the level of the world we live in, the sort of Circovian postmodernist hellscape where no one can tell what's sincere and what's not.
No, but also, because there's a level of the sincere leftists who believe that stuff, right? But then the kind of people who would take a joke flag and use it as the authentic one. I mean, part of you wonders, are they just NPCs looking for the update? I mean, genuinely. They don't really believe it, they just go along with it. And then they've seen a new one and thought, yeah, fine. Maybe not. Maybe they really are that deluded. But if we go to the next one here, we also have the fact that they're not exactly the smartest group as well. We have an individual here with a sign that says, TERFs can suck my D.
Is that the guy with the erection from earlier?
Maybe. Maybe indeed.
Tell what he's here for.
I don't know if he's a trans man or a trans woman either, in which case we'd also have to riddle your way out of that one as well, which not really going to happen. But there we are. Again, lovely people, lovely individuals turning out to be, very much welcomed by the public after the public get a look at them. And then I thought I'd end this off just with, if we go to the next one here, we can see the fact that I did laugh at this. Just Posey promoting her merch in the middle of all this. And just a side note, it just made me laugh, frankly. It's for people listening, it's a black cab with black writing that says woman on it, which...
barely legible.
Yeah, well, the erasure of women right there in real time. So if you need if you got a friend who's in Bristol and loves wearing black bloc and walking around with his erections, you can give him a little black cap to wear as well that just says woman on it. Like with the, please be patient, I have autism.
To go along with the black shirts and the black armbands.
Black erections. Anyway, so that's the rally they had, in which they just turned up and they just laughed, the leftists. And then the women were like, let's go to the pub, because we're British. What else are we going to do? And the leftists, of course, followed and harassed them all the way there as well. And you can see Posey updating us here. They followed us to the pub. Pub is being closed by the police because of the children outside. Very unruly. Hashtag let women speak. Hashtag let women drink. Which, fair enough. If we go to the next one as well, we then have the fact that the police had to stick around. Some other individual who's really there for this, saying that women and GC men, don't know what that stands for, have been blockaded by the
gender
Bristol.
critical, perhaps?
Gender critical men? Yeah, I presume so. I don't know why they make the distinction, though. I'm sure there's just women.
They are feminists.
Yeah, you think they'd, at least get the message there are women and men, and then there's lunatics, which, That's the phraseology I would have used. Have been blockaded at a Bristol pub by trans activists who won't let women speak. The police have closed the pub's gates. So you have it. I mean, again, what's the imagery here? I mean, this is why I think that the TERFs are just going to win, and demonstrably seem to be. I mean, they don't have to do much. I mean, they don't have to even hear your arguments, frankly, to know that they're in the right. When your opposition is, well, clad up, screaming at defenseless women, and also threatening them with their genitals, by the looks of it. Literally the words "suck my D." I mean, why else? If we go to the next one as well, we also have the fact that apparently there's this many police that need to be there just to protect you from these, raging men, as the women here would put it, because they're feminists, of course. That's how they phrase this stuff. They also say that they come out and screamed at us on the megaphone. If we go to the next one as well, there's also just some media picked up on this, of course. As you can see, the Daily Mail picked up on it. And there's just a little more information here, which is a mob clad in black as Bristol anarchists tell feminists they are next after Colston statue was toppled into the river. Of course, being that that's the reference, we're going to throw you in the harbour.
Yeah.
A mob dressed in all black were heard screaming trans rights are human rights, whilst women's rights activists held a talk in honour of Father's Day at College Green.
Wow.
I didn't know that was the reason, which, interesting to see from the feminists, of course.
Goodness me. You know, what has happened to make these radical feminists celebrate Father's Day?
I mean, it's a beautiful synergy. This is what I love about these things, make a synthesis of the whole situation. But then the fact, of course, that, the opposition probably clearly needs some fathers as well. Another man was seen writing on the ground after Colston, TERFs are next, being the reference to throwing them in the harbour. And if we go to the next one, the Daily Mail gives all the credit here to the Bristol Anarchist Federation here. The Anarchist Federation don't want to take all the credit for that. They're much more humble. Don't worry, there's far more lunatics out there. Shout out to all the feminist groups, the unions, students, queer groups, trans groups, and many other who do not involve themselves in any group who made today possible. So there you have it. I mean, there's the list of leftists, which are very, very typical. Just, all the queer, trans, and unions. Okay, yeah, same people every goddamn time. Of course it is. We have leftists everywhere. And if it goes to the next one...
Especially in Bristol as well. Like, Bristol is somewhat renowned for this. It's almost as bad as Brighton. I
mean, it's a living meme of a city. I mean, it's not, Portland levels of mad, but maybe...
It's like Britain's Portland. It's just not that bad yet.
2015 Portland, maybe?
Maybe.
Before it, just descended in actual anarchy. Oh, they did see a response here from Julia Hartley-Brewer saying, imagine if these mass-threatening men were shouting at an ethnic minority group instead of women. Fair point. Do you think the police would have stood by and allowed them to intimidate and abuse them, or is this only okay if the intimidation is aimed at women standing up for their rights? I mean, yeah, fair point, but Julia, but then again, it's sort of... we get the message, frankly, which is the police are the enemy in this regard. I mean, the British police. And it's not because of the Bobby on the street, it's because of the College of Policing, as we've documented many a time. I mean, the laws as they're written and then interpreted and carried out are institutionally biased in favour of the intersectionals and against everyone else, including, of course, the TERFs, which is why they've ended up on, let's say, our side of the debate as well. But if we go to the next one here, we can also see the fact that, I mean, as previously I mentioned, it's an endless list of PR victories, because they had this, as we previously went over, in Manchester as well. I mean, it is weird to have Antifa not come to our events anymore, or seem to spend much time spending all their energy instead on the TERFs, which is, relaxing to some extent, to not have to deal with the, tard wrangling that takes place otherwise. But then again, it is interesting to see that they've not given up their, we're macho left-wingers, even though they all, look like little boys. But then they turn up trying to fight the women, which, again, just endless PR victories. I mean, you cannot think of a stupider thing a political movement can do than being like, we're going to go fight the suffragettes. Okay, good luck in looking good at all that. But then if we go to the next one as well, we can see this, we had just the fact that this is also something that, is only being worn in the public eye, sadly, to be toned down a second, which is just that in the Labour Party, of course, you can still be incredibly hostile, as this individual was. I don't know if you've seen this clip. Yeah. This one who's like, need to stamp out prejudice in the most masculine voice you've ever heard, talking about the TERFs. They need to be stamped out from the party because, of course, in left-wing politics, they don't care about anything to do with morals, but instead power. But in the public eye, not so much. You're going to lose that every time. But this isn't the only leftist thing that took place over the weekend that I thought they'd just talk about, because it's a series of L's for them. If we go to the next one here, we have the fact that Islamo-Labour joined for some big old march in London with trade unions, presumably asking for communism again. What else are they doing? Now, you might think I'm being a little bit unfair, though, but if we go to the next one, we can see there was a video here of some individuals who went down because, of course, they all have the refugees welcome here placards. So I had to ask them about their opinions on taking in a refugee. I didn't add this. I wonder if we can play it in the Twitter video instead. Sorry about that, John. my fault. But if you can play this one, because it's just too glorious not to.
Just notice your placard saying refugees welcome here. Yes. I'm just wondering if you'd like to go down on a list saying you're willing to take the refugees into your home.
Of course not. Only problem is I rent.
You rent?
Yeah.
Maybe an issue?
Yeah, because they've put 9 bedrooms in a 4-bedroom house, so we're pretty much jam-filled.
So, to actually adopt a refugee and take them into your home?
Well, if I had any space, I would.
If you had any space.
It wouldn't be
Right.
a nice place to bring them because it's a bit overcrowded.
Right.
But yes, if I had the space, definitely.
Thank you very much for that, love. Pop one into your home?
I live in a rental place, so I can't.
Rental?
Yeah.
You can't do it?
Yeah.
Someone else's job?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I can't.
You can't take one?
I don't have a space.
You don't have the space?
Can
we have a refugee stay at your house?
Yeah, I don't mind.
You go on the list?
I don't mind, yeah, 100%, give me the thing. Oh wait, I can't, because my house is only a little small and
Amazing. Now, would you be willing to have a refugee in your home?
Yes, if I had room.
If you had room, it's funny that. To adopt a refugee?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Any reason in particular?
I don't. What sort of refugee are you talking about?
Excuse me? Would you be willing to adopt a refugee into your home?
No.
No.
Sorry, I can't.
Would you adopt a refugee into your home?
No, thank you.
No? Adopt a refugee?
I would be willing, yeah, if I had the space.
If you had the space?
Yeah.
So, where should we put them then?
Where should we put them?
Yeah.
There's plenty of people who have got it.
Who are you, mate?
My name's Jim, who are you?
My name's Alistair. I'm already adopted a refugee, thanks.
What does racism mean to you?
It means not equality for those who can't belong here.
For those that don't belong here?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, what is there to say? I mean, that's just gold by the way the chat that went down there. For those that don't belong here, if they don't have equality, what statement?
There were some very revealing responses there as well. I mean, there's a lot of people renting, obviously, and a lot of people saying, oh, I don't have the space. Now, obviously, you can read that one of two ways. You can read it, oh, I don't have the space. I only got 28 bedrooms. What am I going to do with it? You know. But also, like, we do live in tiny houses. We have this huge, dense population. We have a relatively small living space compared to the rest of the Western world. We pay huge amounts in house prices and rent, and most people struggle to get on the property ladder. So, you know, that is a valid cross-section of society there. But yeah, it's just funny that they haven't made that cognitive step between, I don't have space, I don't have anywhere to live, can't buy a house. Maybe we shouldn't have like millions more refugees.
No, that'll make it better. That'll mean there's more houses to buy,
course,
presumably. Yeah. I mean, it's that, you know, my life and the government are two different things.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's all the same place.
Yeah.
They just steal your money.
And there's the obvious visual irony of all of these people carrying literal placards saying refugees welcome, saying, oh, no. I
mean, yeah, I kind of want to get some stickers that just say not in my house and just put it at the, you know, on each one. Just refugee, not here, though. Not in my house, of course. Don't have the room. Funny that, for all of them, except the two, of course, that were just like, well, what kind of refugee? Not the rapey kind. Which one's the rapey kind?
Yeah.
Presumably. Those who don't belong here.
That was brilliant.
Left-wing North FC there. If you don't have equality for those who don't belong here, how are they going to, you know, F off? That's just gold. Anyway.
That was fantastic.
But there you have them. That's the front of the march with the Islamo-leftist MPs. And then you have the back of the march, which, you know, kept a little bit separate so they can, you know, play dumb about who else is there. And you can see the other clip here, which is a bunch of red flags, red bandanas, almost a uniform there, which is actually illegal in the UK. You can't do that. If you're a right-winger and you try and do the same thing, you will be arrested, but Metropolitan Police apparently more accommodating to, well, open communists. That's not exaggeration, you can see the communist flags. And we'll play their chants. Exit by a stay of them. It is a bit embarrassing looking at them. I mean, they look like basement dwellers who check out our socialism every night. You're like, it's unfair. Why can't I just do nothing and get paid? But there you have it. Just screaming ho 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 Chi Minh, Che Guevara, Stalin, because, you know, they'd all survive in the Soviet Union, of course. But there you have it. There's the communists at large. And if we go to the next one here, there's just also just to end this off, because that's, you know, the communists over the weekend having their fun. But to get back to the TERFs for a minute, you see Matt Walsh saying here, What is a Woman has been easily one of the most talked about films of the year. It has exceeded every expectation. It has done all of this without any mainstream media attention at all. They blacklisted us and we succeeded without them. They have no power over us whatsoever. And I think that is a beautiful moment, just celebrating how little power the progs, the progressives, have over private discourse anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, private discourse is just, completely free to say that, reality exists, women exist. And just to end this off with one other link I had at the end, which is quite funny, I did see someone has remixed Posey Parker's speech a little bit here. There's a battle cry they started using, which is "Your mum's a TERF," which, yeah, true as well. All of these people's mums, because remember, all of those communists there and the screamy puppets probably have mums, and their opinions probably aren't on the same side. They're probably like, no, I gave birth to you. That's where babies come from.
Yeah.
Your child. And there we have it. There's the TERFs' endless PR victories, which I thought we'd just enjoy.
Thanks for watching this segment from the podcast Lotus Eaters. If you enjoyed that, you can find more and subscribe for our premium content at lotuseaters.com. For instance, Josh and I recently have done a premium video called The Left Doesn't Understand Economics, and if you'd like to find me on social media, you can do so at Getter at Harry Lotus Eater. Thank you very much.